Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
So let me call on you now, John, to make your keynote and closing remarks as we bring this to an end, since we are at the top of the hour. Over to you, John.
Thank you. I'm very conscious that I'm also the last speaker, so and we do want to close on. First of all, thank you again very much for the opportunity to speak with you and also listen to the comments. It's always great to be on a panel with my good friend Kunio. What the WCO has done under his leadership, particularly during COVID-19, has been extraordinary. We are honoured and proud to have been able to work closely with you in order to bring about as much sense as we could on border openings and closing, to enable goods to flow through, but importantly, medical goods and therapeutics to go through to save people's lives. And also to participate, Hubert, with you and your team is always a joy. As you say, when we talk about digitising 5 million SMEs, we're doing this for a very deliberate purpose. There's not much point in having an annex to an agreement which actually encourages digitisation if we don't give people the tools and if we don't then build the capability. That's part of what the ICC will do with the digitisation of 5 million SMEs. But most importantly, we are working to ensure interoperability. So not only are we setting the standards, we are actually seeking to actually make the standards which operate now and the various blockchain groups, etc., interoperable. Frankly, only the ICC can do it. Sadly, but the truth is governments are not at a level of cooperation where they can actually combine to actually do what is necessary for business, which is why the ICC steps in. In the end, that's what we do. We enable business worldwide. And so as Hubert said, I launched earlier this year the ICC Digital Standards Initiative in Singapore, and at the moment we're crowding in various players. The whole idea is to actually fulfill our mission, which is to take the trading world from analog to digital. We're focusing at the moment on the documentation that supports trade finance, in particular, giving legal force to electronic versions of documents, because as you know, governments are yet to enable it on a global basis. One would have thought that if nothing else, COVID might have actually accelerated that process. But to be frank, we're looking at still at less than 2% of total trade finance documentation, which is actually recognized at a digital basis. So that's one of our challenges here. One thing we would dearly like to do is to ensure that with our Digital Standards Initiative, there is full and complete engagement with Africa. And so we invite the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement to participate with us in that. Our aim is to create what we can do, which is a truly global clearinghouse to enable these standards to be set. It's a huge challenge, but as I think we've all said before, these challenges are ripe with opportunity, and that's what gets us out of bed every day to actually do these sorts of things. So we invite our friends to join us. Kunio, as always, we invite the World Customs Organization to participate with us. OECD, WTO, Asia Development Bank, they're all joining in because they know that the Digital Standards Initiative is the best bet we have to enable the creation of global standards and interoperability, which will facilitate global trade. And of course, that is why the ICC is driving this, because that fulfills part of our mission. So again, it's been great to be with you all today. We've launched our 5 million SME digitisation. I'm looking forward to reporting back on that. I'm also looking forward on the opportunity to start scoping out with some more authority the creation of our first centres of entrepreneurship in sub-Saharan Africa. And our aim is to have at least number one up and running out of Accra in the first quarter of 2021. And then we'll be back for more. So thank you very much for joining me to participate today. And thank you very much to everyone who's spoken. And as Valentina said earlier on, that not only together can we run fast, we can also run extremely effectively, and we can probably therefore go further. And I look forward to the further bit on a continuous basis. Thank you very much.
Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.